Vertex Transmissions. Vertex Transmissions.
Welcome back to Verkus Transmissions. On this episode, I'm just going to dive into movies that are coming out in June in theaters, on DVD, and on video demand. First up is movies that you can find in your local theaters coming in June. First up is The Purge. In an America wrecked by crime and overcrowded prisons, the government has sanctioned an annual 12-hour period in which any and all criminal activity, including murder, becomes legal. The police can't be called. Hospitals suspend help. It's one night when the censor regulates itself without thought of punishment. On this night, plagued by violence and an epidemic of crime, one family wrestles with the decision of who they will become when a stranger comes knocking. When an intruder breaks into James Sandin's gated community during the yearly lockdown, he begins a sequence of events that threatens to tear a family apart. Now it is up to James, his wife Mary, and their kids to make it through the night without turning into monsters from whom they hide. That kind of sounds pretty well written, and I've actually seen trailers for this movie already. And if it sounds interesting to you and you have seen the trailer, you can find this movie in your local theater starting June 7th. Next up is Hatchet 3. The film continues the tale of the now iconic villain Victor Crowley, as a search and recovery team heads into the haunted swamp to pick up the pieces and carnage left behind from the first two films. Mary Beth hunts down the true secret to ending the voodoo curse that has left the ghost of Victor Crowley hunting and terrorizing Honey Island Swamp for decades. And this is going to be a limited release. I have seen the last two Hatchet movies, and I am looking forward to seeing this one. And if you are too, then you can find the movie maybe in local theater on June 14th. Next up on our list, World War Z. The story revolves around United Nations employee Gary Lane, who travels the world in a race against time to stop the zombie pandemic that is toppling armies and governments and threatening to destroy humanity itself. Well, if you're looking forward to this movie, you can find it in your local theaters on June 21st, 2013. Next up is another movie. I know I'm going to butcher this title. Byzantium. I hope I got that right. Byzantium. Yeah, something like that. On the run for murder, two young sisters arrive penniless at an English seaside town. Clara is a modern woman who has her eyes on the future and no time for the past. Teenager Eleanor is shy and innocent, yet they both hide the same secrets. They are really mother and daughter, and they are both vampires. This has 2 release dates. In the UK, it comes out to the local theaters on May 31st, 2013. And in the US, you can look for a US release on June 28, 2013. Now, on to horror DVDs releases for June 2013. You can look forward to Warm Bodies, which will be hitting your video shelves on June 4th. Sadako 3D, which will be hitting your video shelves on June 4th. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters comes out on June 11th. Stoker comes out on June 18th. The Last Exorcism Part 2 also comes out on June 18th. And Come Out and Play also comes out on June 18th. Hansel and Gretel Get Baked comes out June 25th. Crawl Space comes out June 25th. Dead Souls comes out June 25th, and The Call comes out on June 25th. All of those movies you can look forward to seeing on DVD. Horror movies coming to video on demand in June 2013. VHS 2 comes out on June 16th on video demand. Barbarian Sound Studio comes out on June 14th. Apartment 1303 3D comes out on June 17th. Destination of the Dead comes out on June 18th. Maniac comes out to a limited release on June 21st. And 1000 Bloody Acres also comes out on a limited release on June 28th. All these movies you can find on video demand coming in June. Well, that's all the movie releases that I have for June. Now, I will catch you on the next episode of Verkus Transmissions.